What up, world? This your girl, Pure Beauty, Rare Heart, back at you live with another video. I just want to start by saying peace and love to all of my loyal subscribers. I just want to let you guys know that you are appreciated. First things first, I just want to say God bless you all. Hope that everyone is having a safe Tuesday. The article that we are reading today is published by Jessica Docourt, and it was published earlier this morning at 2 o'clock. And I just wanted to bring this to you guys because I think that this is something that everyone should be updated on regarding personal finances. I know this is a really tough time right now with COVID on everyone. And when I came across this article, I didn't want to just keep it to myself. So we will be discussing today stimulus check details, the current timeline, who is eligible, when we are due to receive our next and third stimulus check, as well as we will also go over the different ramifications for the third stimulus package that is due to be voted on by the House of Representatives this Friday. Yes, you heard me right. 3 more days this Friday. So trust me when I tell you this, you do not want to miss out on this information. So I just want to say like, subscribe, and please drop down in the comments and let me know if you like videos like this so that I can keep you guys updated on these more often. As you can see, this article is on cnet.com under the personal finance section. A third stimulus check is coming into focus. Here's the latest news. By the end of this week, the details of the third stimulus check should be smoothed out, giving us a better idea of how much money you could receive this time. Currently, the House of Representatives is working on finalizing the payment details as part of President Joe Biden's $1.9 trillion stimulus package, with a goal of having Biden sign the final legislation before the middle of March, along with establishing how soon the third stimulus check could arrive and who qualify. The bill could include a minimum wage increase to $15 per hour and a $400 weekly federal check for unemployed Americans. During discussions, Congress will need to tie up any loose ends of the proposal, including whether you or your dependents could qualify for new payment or be disqualified entirely. They also need to clarify what happens if the IRS has to send out payments in the middle of tax season, and how you could get more money or less as a result of new income limits that target the payment and change the new stimulus check formula. We'll tell you everything you need to know, such as how to claim any money you're missing from the first or second stimulus check, including missing money for your dependents, and whether you need to file for an IRS payment trace. And here's the 411 on an extra $100 stimulus check for Californians. This story was recently updated. What's the current status of the third check? The new stimulus bill and its third check are close. By Sunday, February 28th, the House plans to pass its version of the bill and then send the legislation to the Senate, which could then send it on to Biden to sign by March 14th. Quote, "We will meet this deadline," end quote, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer told Senate Democrats on February 19th. The current bill, which the House will continue to fine-tune this week, includes a third stimulus check with a $1,400 per person maximum to target or restrict the third check to lower and middle income households. The legislation will include eligibility rules that exclude individuals and families at the highest income levels. An individual with an AGI, adjusted gross income, of at least $100,000 a year would hit the payment cutoff, as would a head of household earning $150,000 and a couple filing jointly with an AGI of $200,000. However, any dependent and taxpayer claims could qualify for a $1,400 payment. But unlike with the first two payments, people above the hard upper limit wouldn't be able to get a partial check by having dependents. Will the third stimulus payment be based on your 2019 or 2020 taxes? Tax season and the timing of a third stimulus check will most likely overlap. What this means for you is the IRS will likely base your total on income, either your 2020 or your 2019 tax returns, whichever it has on hand when it determines the size of your payment. If you qualify for the full $1,400 based on your 2020 taxes, but your check was lower because the IRS based it on your 2019 taxes, you would have to claim the difference when you file in 2022. How soon could Congress pass a third stimulus check? The plan is to have the COVID-19 stimulus bill clear the House of Representatives by the end of this month, and then go on to the Senate before going to Biden for approval by March 14th. If the Democrats plan to use a power legislative tool works, a third stimulus check could conceivably arrive later in March for the first wave of recipients. But whenever the bill does pass, assuming that it happens, it doesn't mean everyone will get their funds immediately. Here we go. There are many variables that could affect you personally. For example, the 2020 tax season could have a dramatic effect on how and when you get your next payment. We'll just have to see how it all pans out. Meanwhile, we've mapped out some dates the IRS and Treasury could start sending the next stimulus check, depending on who you are. When could the IRS actually send out a third round of checks? Would it have another deadline? The IRS and the Department of the Treasury took just days to deliver the second stimulus checks, starting shortly after former President Donald Trump signing December's stimulus bill. They had no choice. The language of the bill provided only a 17-day window to send the checks. There were millions of direct deposit errors, and now anyone missing stimulus money will have to claim it as part of filing 2020 taxes. Yes, even people who don't otherwise file taxes. It appears that the IRS will automatically send a third check to recipients as it has done with the second stimulus payments. You would think they learned their lesson. With taxpayers and non-filers alike claiming any missing money in a recovery rebate credit or something like that for the 2021 tax season in 2022. We walked through more possible scenarios for the third stimulus check timeline here. What can I do to get my third stimulus check faster? Your stimulus check and taxes are tightly intertwined. There are some important things to know about how your taxes can affect whether you qualify for a third stimulus check, depending on both the eligibility rules and your 2020 AGI. But taxes are now also tied to any missing stimulus money, and you might have to claim or trace. While Congress has asked the IRS to postpone this year's tax filing deadline, it still could be in your best interest to file sooner instead of later. If you file for your taxes sooner, you could get a refund plus missing stimulus money faster than if you, for example, file a tax extension. We also recommend setting up direct deposit with the IRS to get a catch-up payment faster and potentially get a new stimulus check faster too. And if you moved recently, better let the IRS and USPS know. Yep, you gotta let them know, guys. You gotta update them so you get your money. You don't want to be in the batch of people who are having to file next year to get this stimulus check. You don't want to be waiting. Trust and believe. What else could still change with a third stimulus payment? Besides possibly setting a hard income cap to qualify, the proposal embraces two changes that have been popular among Democratic lawmakers. The first would expand stimulus check qualifications to dependents of any age. Oh, wow. Including 13.5 million more people, according to the People's Policy Project. That includes college students, older adult relatives, and dependents of any age with disabilities, not just those under 17 years old. Okay. The second change to the eligibility would include all mixed status households with one or more family members who aren't U.S. citizens. An example would be parents who are U.S. citizens, but their U.S.-born children are. Okay. The second stimulus checks made families with one U.S. citizen spouse eligible. However, it doesn't appear that people who are undocumented workers will qualify for a stimulus check in the third round. Why some people could get a smaller amount of stimulus money with the third set of checks. A targeted income limit that cuts off all households above a certain threshold is one way a household could get less stimulus check money than the total. But there are others too. Why others could expect more money in the third round, even if it's a targeted check. A larger maximum total per person is an obvious way your household would see more money for a third check over the second. But there's more to it than that. Since the upper limit for the second check was $600 per adult with an extra $600 per child dependent, according to the IRS formula, more people hit the upper income limit for receiving a second payment. And that means they didn't actually qualify to get any stimulus money at all. A third stimulus check could make more groups of people eligible to receive money, namely non-citizens who pay taxes, and bring a larger total check to qualify individuals and their families, including possible $1,400 payments to dependents. A change to your circumstances might also mean you're qualified for more money this time. Here are the other ways to put more money in your pocket. So there's another article to let you know that there are other ways that you can actually get more money in your pocket. And I encourage you guys to, definitely look into this more and stay up to date with what exactly is going on when it comes to terms of this stimulus package that will be voted on hopefully Friday. It is really good news to almost everyone. It seems like they have widened their approach, and they have somehow included a lot more people than before. And that's really good news because, that was a problem with, the first and second stimulus check. A lot of people, they didn't qualify to get it. And at the same time, some people are undocumented and things of that nature, and that's understandable why they will not receive a stimulus check. But for the other people that are living in families where a portion of them are documented and another portion may not be, it's not right. Everyone should qualify for this stimulus package in the middle of these unprecedented times. I mean, who should feel like they're higher than thou, or they can play God just because they sit in a lawmaker, chair, or, they hold a higher position than your next person, and they can control basically our lives with these votes, guys. I mean, I really don't think that it's right for a person to have that perspective when they're in this type of position. But you know how things go with politics. It's always something. That being said, I just want to make it very clear that this is not passed yet. It is due to be voted on for Friday, this upcoming Friday. It is now Tuesday the 23rd. So we can actually bet that by the 25th, the House of Representatives should be voting on this. And as this article stated, once the House of Representatives are done, they send it over to the Senate, and then the Senate will vote on it. And then once they're done with their vote, assuming that it's passed, from that point on, they will send it over to Biden, and they're giving Biden until March 14th to sign. And so that's always good news, guys. But I think the barrier here, or really the thing that has been holding up this third stimulus package, because I know a lot of people are probably like, well, it's been taking so long, what's the hold up? Well, the hold up is, one provision in here that they feel as though it may not pass. Just this one portion may not pass, or it may have to be revisited at a later date, because we can't be holding up all these important things in the middle of this pandemic all because of this one factor. But this one factor is a $15 minimum wage increase. So this would be introduced in this third stimulus package, an increase of minimum wage. But as you can imagine, this will cause an influx, and it will cause issues with even deeper issues within the economy with the increase on the minimum wages. You already know that there's going to be, like they stated in this article, there's going to be some people that may make more money and they may not qualify for certain stimulus checks and things like that, or even be qualifying for certain stimulus tax credits or things like that are being written into these stimulus bills and these stimulus packages that have been introduced lately. as of late. There are a lot of people saying that they do not feel like after this stimulus package, like there will be any more packages or any more stimulus checks or anything like that. But I honestly feel like a lot of people have been saying a lot of things for almost going on 2 years now. And I think we are in really muddy waters here, and it's just a little bit too complex of a situation to just look at it and say, I don't think we're going to get any more assistance for this and that. And looking at the growing cases every day, even with the vaccines and the things that are needed, like, the funding for the vaccines, our child education. I mean, there are so many things that have to be addressed, and I do not feel like just 1 or 2 or maybe even 3 stimulus packages will cover all of that. And trust and believe that I'm not the only person that feels like that. There are some lawmakers that feel like that, and that is why they have been I feel like the Democrats have been moving forward in the manner they have been, because they understand the importance of being there for the people. And that's that's one thing that I think people should know and take into account when they're thinking about politics, instead of being so emotional, because this is a very emotional time. A lot of people are going to feel a certain type of way, but we shouldn't cloud our judgment when it comes to things like this, because we're already being lied to. It's just best to just educate yourself on the situation. Stay informed on the situation. Make sure you're using credible sources so that you're not being manipulated by the mass media with false news and the fake news, and how the algorithms want you to pay attention to certain things. You need to elevate yourself. You need to pay attention to what most might not be paying attention to, because it's something that you need to get out of that. And that's just all I got to say about that, because I mean, just like they said we wouldn't get the second stimulus check, we got it. And now here we are talking about the third stimulus check. And I feel like there are so many words, there's so much power in our words. And I feel that people should really watch what they say, because manifestation is a very big thing, and what you say can very well come to fruition. So I'm not going to sit here and say that I don't think that we can have another stimulus package, or I don't think that we'll be getting more stimulus checks, even if that's how I feel. I'm not going to sit and confuse people and say that, because at the end of the day, that's not how I feel. But if that was how I feel, I think that I would understand that that was a little bit harsh just to feel that way about it. And I really would be mindful of what I spew from my platform into the masses, because I don't want to deter people, and I don't want to send them down the incorrect path in life. So at the same time that I come on here and I read these articles to you guys, and I give you guys my peace of mind or my 2 cents of how I feel about it, I still encourage you guys wholeheartedly to go out and do your own research. Go out and read your own articles. Go out and just pay a little bit more attention. And I'm not necessarily saying watch the news, because the news don't always tell you the truth. And this is why I talk a lot about articles, because I know very much about concrete detail through just my various courses in college, and just being able to differentiate a primary source from something that's just manipulated and just spewed out with an agenda. But I'm done ranting, guys. Thanks for watching. I just wanted to bring this to you guys, and if there are any updates that you guys would like for me to do a video on, or just give you guys updates on, feel free to drop down in the comments below and let me know, and I will do my best. I know that people were saying they want to hear more about Bitcoins. I am working on a special project for you guys. I promise. Just stay tuned. We will be talking about that very soon. Once again, just make sure you like and subscribe. Drop down in the comments. Until next time.